My name is Dr. Austin Schultz, and thank you for tuning in today. What I want to talk to you about is just some simple changes that you can make in the workplace, particularly with Greenville being such a big manufacturing sort of destination. You have Michelin, BMW. So this talk is kind of tailored to those professions, particularly the line workers or factory workers. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to just tell you a little bit about me. I graduated from Furman University where I did my undergrad. I have a health science degree. I went to National University of Health Sciences in Florida where I earned my chiropractic degree. And then I came back up here after finishing school in order to open my practice. We're Three Pillars Chiropractic. And just full disclosure, this by speaking to you guys, I'm looking to help promote myself, but I also want to bring awareness to some simple things that you can do, whether you decide to become a patient of mine or not. Um, just real briefly, the top right, those are my two brothers, and the one on the left is Jonathan, and the one on the right is my younger brother, Steven, and they helped me build my practice. So I have a lot of pride. It was a very close bond that I did, or I had a close bond with my family. And when I got out of school, they really helped me build exactly the practice I want to build. And that's a practice that helps patients get better, and we educate patients so that they gain power over their healthcare. That's not just come in, let me adjust you, like you see with a lot of the straight chiropractors, and that creates a cycle of dependency. So we really wanted to empower our patients so that they can gain some control over their pain management and longevity. So my goal is I want to make life good. I want to keep life good if it is good. I don't want my patient, we're all about wellness. Wellness is, if I could have all my patients come in, I would want to treat them for wellness care rather than um, recover from an injury, because wellness is the most important. If you can basically stop the development of pain, stop these bad processes from happening. And it's through simple stuff like the way that you go to lift the box, or the way you sit in your desk, or just simple exercises that you can incorporate into your everyday life. Um, Even just staying active, movement is huge for your health. But let's go ahead and keep moving forward. So why promote wellness? That's kind of going to what I was saying earlier. Um, these on the left hand side of the screen, I have some common spine conditions. The main one with you guys in manufacturing, because when I was shadowing before I actually went to National University of Health Sciences in Florida, I was shadowing a chiropractor in the upstate who did a lot of work with the BMW manufacturing plant. And even the day I was there, I probably saw 3 cases where people were coming in with either a bulging disc or a herniated disc. And it's simple things that you can do to help reduce the probability of basically developing these conditions. And so that's what I want to focus on today, is particularly the bulging disc or herniated disc. But all of those spine conditions listed, chiropractic can help you with in one way or another through helping restore the range of motion or mobility so you can move right. So that's something we can all help, or that's something that chiropractic can help with. But my focus is going to be on the herniated disc and the bulging disc for you guys. And there's an important distinction here, is that pain is not the enemy. Pain lets us know that there's something wrong and that we need to address whatever it is and find whatever is causing it. Because if you can find out what's causing it, you can find out what changes you have to make to your lifestyle in order to stop contributing to that cause. So it's a really important distinction that we don't see pain as the enemy, but that we see pain as a signal for something going wrong in our body, and that we kind of hone in on that signal and just try and figure out what is causing that so that we can actually promote your wellness and longevity. So what can we do? We can utilize proper lifting technique. And by that, you just want to make sure your feet are about shoulders width apart. And you just want to avoid twisting, because the most common way to herniate a disc, and it's really common in a factory when you're on the line, when you basically like have a box and you need to put it somewhere, it's natural for us to want to twist. And so we have to avoid trying to do that. We want to make sure that we're bending with our knees, not our back, so you're not hunching over. You want to keep that back real nice and straight, and just make sure that you're the main things to avoid like that twisting. As far as like flexibility work or inhibited muscles, so you may have an injury in the past. So one thing that we do in my practice is we will look to try to find those weak muscles so that you can maintain a good posture or that you have a good core. So there's simple exercises like planks that you can do in order to strengthen your core, so that as you're lifting these boxes, it's almost like a bracing mechanism. You increase the pressure in your stomach, which helps to create a stable structure. So it's very rigid, and that puts a lot less strain on your spine. And one of the biggest things is to work both sides of your body. So if I'm on the line and I'm constantly having to put parts to the right, if it's possible, if I could stand on the other side of like the conveyor and work the other side, so I'm basically using my left arm more, then that'll help it'll help to stop the development of those imbalances. So where my right side would become really strong and my left side's not used as much. So it's really important to try and stay balanced in the way that we're working out. It's kind of like if you go to the gym, you wouldn't want to just always bench press, because then you're like, your pecs would get huge and you'd just be walking around just hunched forward, and then you would have a lot of pain in your back. It's the same concept. So again, I'm from Three Pillars Chiropractic. We're a local practice, and the main thing you can do is just be proactive. You can make dietary changes, but as long as you're ensuring that you're doing everything you can to avoid twisting when you're lifting, you want to keep your shoulder or your feet shoulders width apart. Make sure that you're bending with your knees, keeping your back straight. Ideally, keeping your head up so you're not like looking down or hunched over. And just being proactive about your health is the most important thing that I can give you guys today. Pain isn't the enemy, and we have to stop seeing it as an enemy. You can't just treat symptoms, because I want to give you guys an example. My dad, about 2 years ago, was working on the engine of a used boat that we had bought, used Sea Ray actually. And rather than asking for help, he decided to try and pull this engine himself. And he ended up having a herniation at L3 and L4, and a herniation at L4, L5. And so I remember it was miserable. My dad was on the ground. It affected his work. So the only thing that you can do is be proactive, because you don't want to be like you don't want to be in that situation my dad was in, where he was in so much pain that he was laying on the ground, and he basically had to have my mother bring him food and it was difficult for him to get up and go to the bathroom. And it, even after his surgery, because it was really bad, he still suffers from it because of all that scar tissue after the surgery. It just kind of adhered to some of the nerves. So every time he like moves around, if he moves a certain way, it kind of pulls on that nerve and he gets that same production of pain. So you just have to be proactive, and that's the best advice I can give you. Um, if you have any questions, my contact information's here, and I'd love to hear from you guys. And I look forward to possibly seeing some of you as patients. I hope you have a great day.